It's your boy Eclipse D Poetic, and I'm here at Mad Card Games to bring you One Piece, the card game. I'm going to teach you guys the new One Piece TCG today. So let me break it down for you. Alright guys, so really quick, I'm going to break down the play area for One Piece and where everything should go, so everything looks nice and neat for you and your opponent to understand. So you have your leader. Your leader is going to go right in the middle of the playmat. Left, right, doesn't really matter as long as it's in the center. You basically have 3 sections. You then have your stage area for when you play stage cards. No other card will go in this area. You have your character area. You can only have up to 5 characters. There's no legendary rule, so you can have as many as one of the same character as you want, but you can only have 5. Now, if you have 5 or more characters here and you would like to play a new one, all you have to do is pay the cost, throw that character in the trash, and replace it with the new one. Your cost area is down here. This is where your Dawn would be, where you're getting them from your Dawn deck right here. So that's your cost area. This is your trash. Your deck goes here, and the last piece of the puzzle is your life, which would go on the side depending on how much your leader has. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, because I'm going to be giving you guys a whole lot more of this One Piece content. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be coming to you. So make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments, I'll interact. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of what One Piece, the card game, is. Basically, it's a card game where you have a leader, 50 card deck, a Dawn deck, and the goal of the game is to remove all of your opponent's life and hit them one more time. In the game, you have 5 different types of cards. 5 different types of cards. You have your Dawn cards, which is your resource. Just like if you've ever played Magic, this would be your land. If you ever played Pokemon, this would be your energy. If you played the old Naruto game or the Digimon card game, this is like your time counter stuff. So this is the resource that you will use to play your cards. So each leader has a color, a life, an attack, and effects. All right. So each leader has the amount of life that you would need for the game. So you would need 5 for this Luffy. So once your opponent has hit you 6 times, they win. Or they can do other things to make you lose life, because the Kaido leader does have that ability. The other type of cards in your deck are going to be event cards, stage cards, and character cards. Your deck can only consist of colors that your leader is. So this deck can only have red cards because I have a red leader. Each card has a cost. Sanji here costs 2 red. You can only play red. I'm sorry. Costs 2. He has a 4,000 attack, and he has an ability. Stage cards. Stage cards have a cost. They have no attack, but they have abilities that you can use either once per turn or when the card dictates. And then you have event cards that you would have to pay their cost when you play them. The game does have different effects, but we'll get to those when I show you a run through. So in this game, your starting hand is 5, but you get 1 free mulligan, which you don't have to use if you don't like to. So after you shuffle, your opponent would cut if they like. You would draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't like the hand you have, which I do not, then you go ahead and shuffle it up again. But after that one mulligan, you have to put your life. And your life comes on the top of your deck. 2, 3, 4, 5. And a mulligan for a way better hand. So from there, you take your top cards and you put them the top one down first. Then you put your life to the side. So when you're playing the game, if you go first, you only get 1 Dawn on your first turn. If you go second, you get 2 Dawn. Every turn after that, after your first turn, you get 2 Dawn per turn. And again, Dawn is your resource used to play cards. If you go first, you do not draw a card from your deck. If you go second, you draw a card. Neither player can attack on their first turn. After your first turn, you can attack that. Unless your cards have rush. So let's play as if I'm going first. I have my hand, I've mulliganed, I've laid my life, I have my leader, I've already drawn my Dawn. I'm gonna tap 1 Dawn. Tapping or resting. This would be called tapping or resting. You use this to let your opponent know that you're using this resource to place a card. I played a 1-drop card for 1 Dawn. It has the ability Blocker. Blocker means that when your opponent goes to attack your leader or another character card, you can have this guy take the attack instead. Now, how do attacks work? Well, once you finally get down to having characters on your board and such, you know, you actually have characters on your board that have been down for a turn, because every character has summoning sickness, meaning it can't attack the first turn you play it unless it has the ability Rush. My nails are ugly, but unless it has the ability... Okay. Unless it has the ability Rush. I was trying to make you see it better, but I couldn't. So when you can have as many battle phases as you like. So you can go to main phase where you play cards, and then you can go to battle phase where you attack, and then you can go back to main phase and back to battle phase. So everyone has an effect. Like Sanji needs 2 Dawn attached to him, and you can attach active Dawn. You cannot attach rested Dawn unless you have a card that says otherwise, such as the Luffy leader or the Nami in the starter deck. So when you go into attack phase, you would have Sanji attack. He's 4, but every time you attach a Dawn, they get plus 1,000 for your turn, and only your turn. So he'd be at 6,000. Most of the leaders are 5k, so if he was swinging into an opposite leader, the leader would need to either use a blocker to stop the attack, or he would need to combo above 6,000, which means I would have to get to 7. I have 1 card in my hand. Right now, I can only get to 6. So I would take a life if Sanji was hitting me. unless I used my blocker to take the hit. And you can save a blocker by comboing after it as well. You just have to get over the initial attack number. In draws, the attacker wins. If a card is attacked and it is defeated, it goes to the trash. And the used Dawn, just go back to your cost area rested, because they would be rested on the character. If a card, once this card attacks, you can go back into to main phase, and I can use other card effects like tapping this to give this 1,000, taking one of these rested on and attaching it to him. Well, actually attaching into him, and then swinging for another 6,000. If I can't get over again, then boom, I take another life. But this has a trigger. Now, if they hit your life and a card comes off your life and it has the word trigger, you have the option whether or not to play it. This one says KO one of your opponent's blocker cards that cost 3 or less. So that would mean that if he hit my life and he had something that had blocker on it that cost 3 or less, I could easily make him trash it. If I didn't want to do that, because let's say he didn't have a valuable target, you can add it to your hand to save it for later. Again, the goal of the game is to hit your opponent enough to take all of their life and then hit them one more time. In that, you have the ability to counter. There are different counter cards. Your maximum amount of Dawn is 10. For each Dawn deck, you can only have 10, but you can add and subtract Dawn depending on your deck. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you today, but I do plan on being the judge for Mad Card Games over in Davie, Florida. So don't forget to come check us out for the tournaments. For product, Super Pre-Release is this weekend. Make sure you're getting out to your LCGs and getting your friggin' Super Pre-Release kits. Again, my name is Eclipse D Poetic, and I plan on being the king of the pirates. So try and beat me.